regions. Our correspondent Maria Finoshina has more.
Ukraine's National Security and Defense Council has confirmed that the army is currently preparing to regain control over the major cities in eastern Ukraine. It is also now confirmed by the officials of what Kiev calls its anti-terror operation in this part of the country. The spokesperson has said that the military will take the cities and the towns and the villages, street after street, building after building, without specifying which city will come first, but saying that it will either be Donetsk or Lugansk. These are big cities. Of course, with these promises from Kiev to intensify the attacks, concerns are that there could be even more civilian deaths. In less than 4 months of the operation in Ukraine, more than 1,000 people have already been killed, ordinary civilians. We just a couple of days ago visited the city of Lugansk and we saw a very dramatic picture on the ground. Many have already escaped the town, but many are still inside and they are hiding in the basements. They are living under constant shelling, and they are mostly women, children or sick and old. Well, this is the situation now in Ukraine.
Moscow is receiving refugees that have fled the combat zones of eastern Ukraine. A number of children badly hurt in the fighting have now arrived in the Russian capital. But many more remain stranded and under fire, as Sarti's Medina Kochenova reports.
9 severely injured children have arrived this morning to Moscow from Donetsk. Now, a number of ambulances were waiting for them here at the city railway station. Now, we do know that 2 of those children were injured during the bombings of the city. There was one 4-year-old boy on board of this train and a young girl who was injured during the firefights. All these children are in need of urgent medical help. Doctors who accompanied them say that they only take those who can't stay in the refugee camp and claim that only in that area there are over 40 children in such condition. They say they need a humanitarian corridor, but so far the situation in that area remains too challenging to make that a possibility.
A resolution calling for all sides to accept a ceasefire at the site of the Malaysian plane crash in East Ukraine has been blocked at the UN Security Council. The countries who refused to accept the document put forward by Moscow wanted anti-government forces blamed in the wording. Professor Bruno Dveski from the National Institute of Eastern Civilizations believes that it's all part of a well-planned campaign against Russia.
Russia has a very consequent line. It is to have an inquiry about the incident of the accident of the Malaysian plane. But most obviously, United States don't want to cooperate on that field, and they don't give the information they have. They don't want to communicate. They just want to make pressure against Russia.
Unfortunately, the members of the Security Council, some members of the Security Council, reacted in their typical way, being adamantly against any kind of criticism of the Ukrainian authorities, even though we have a case of attempted violation of 2166.
You know, Ukraine is now a playground for Western countries, but especially for United States against Russia. And I don't think they are very interested about the human rights question in Ukraine. You know, it's double standard. All the time the United States defend human rights in countries they don't like, but they don't defend them in countries which are their ally. So since Kiev government is pro-American, it's obvious they will not defend human rights in Ukraine.